Blue Kool-Aid coming at you guys. Haven't did a video in a couple days, so here you go. I came home tonight around 6 o'clock, and I'd stopped and got what's called Penn Station. If anybody's ever had their subs, I would strongly encourage you to go get some of them because they're really good. They have really good French fries too. What's that have to do with solar wind? Nothing. You know, there you go. There's my squirrel mind working again. That's what we're going to talk about, solar wind. But anyway, I had some Penn Station, and that's why I didn't make a video until now. It got stuck. Some of my food got stuck in the hole because I'm a gastric bypass patient, and sometimes that happens. So I have to basically drink water and, you know, flush myself out and basically make myself sick, you know, and clean whatever's stuck in the hole out, or it's very, very painful. Feels like you're having a heart attack. But thank God that Scott over at Planet X News put out a video on this, because I went to bed because I was feeling that bad. Scott was watching it too, and he's seen it, and thank God that somebody did something with it, because people need to know. I was gonna just look at it when I got back up or whatever, and I really didn't realize it was that bad until I watched Scott's video when I first got up. I mean, it was very intense, okay, guys? I have to give a shout out to Scott there, too. He made a wallpaper for my channel. Man, it was awesome. Thanks, Scott. Really do appreciate you taking the time. He's a very busy person. He doesn't just do YouTube. He's just, you know, for somebody to take the time and do that for me is just awesome. And it's just like Mike up in Michigan that bought me this computer, and, you know, he sent me some video the other day and pictures of, I showed you guys the horizon pictures, right? He corrected me on that, what I was telling you guys about those, the ones that some people thought were greenhouses. They were on opposite horizons. Well, when I said they were on the east and the other one was on the west, it was vice versa. Okay, I said the one that was in the east was in the west, and vice versa on the other side. So I just wanted to correct that. Mike asked me to correct that, and I will. I correct anything that's a mistake that I figure out that is a mistake. But anyway, back to this conversation here, solar wind, okay? A lot of people don't understand exactly what a solar wind is and what causes them. So I'm going to go in, I'm just going to give you a short definition. You can go to Wikipedia and look at it, but this Northwestern University site is awesome. Reason why it's awesome, I'll leave a link to this, guys, because it gives you a whole bunch of other stuff you can go look at and get information on. I'm assuming there's probably a search engine here. This is the first time I've seen this site, but it has some really good definitions of stuff that we talk about in this community a lot. Little tidbit here. Look at that. That's a comet, right? Well, solar wind is actually what causes the tails of the comets to get blown back, because these things are traveling towards the sun, so they blow the tails back, right? It's solar wind. Anyway, what a solar wind is, and you guys can read this verbatim if you want to. It's just a stream of energized and charged particles. It's basically it's electrons and protons, and has some plasma in it, all that kind of stuff most of the time. But what struck me, and I didn't even know this, that it can get as high as 900 kilometers a second. Not an hour, a second. That's fast, guys. And then you go down and you read the rest of the definition. It says 1,000,000 degrees Celsius. You know, for us Westerners, we do things in Fahrenheit. You calculate that out into to Fahrenheit. Oh my goodness, that's hell hot, guys. Hell hot. And like I said, it's got plasma in it. So, you know, then the next question comes, well, where do they come from? Well, the solar winds, they come from, obviously, the sun. And what causes them, you know, it kind of tells you what causes it and why they happen right here. Okay, now, when we hear solar storm and solar winds and all that kind of thing, the first thing you think about, obviously, well, I wouldn't say obviously, like CMEs. I don't think this was a CME. I don't know. I can't say 100%. I don't think any of this was predicted. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the ISWA site, guys, while I'm talking. That way we can speed this up a little bit. I got some stuff already loaded over there. And again, I'm going to pause it here. What I'm going to show you is basically these are the tools I show you guys all the time anyway, right? I mean, I report on this pretty frequently. And if you go back and look, because I think this is important, because I think this is one of the good, daggone. Let me grab the slide bar, man. Woo-wee, I'm about to get mad. Why isn't it letting me? Alright, now I'm getting upset. Anyway. I don't know why it's not letting me do that, guys. Anyway, again, the solar wind got up to 3.7 million miles per hour. Okay, so what that computes to is the sun is 93 million miles away. So if this generated from the sun, that would put it over 25 hours ago. Well, yeah, if you compute that. So this event started happening right around, I believe it was 20 or 2100 hours UTC time. Okay, now that was on the 14th. So like I said, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and look at this thing. There it goes. Let me grab it that time. Okay. And we'll let it run through. Okay. So just keep in mind that's how fast it was. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it here because it goes too slow. Okay. We're seeing, I want you guys to watch this. Okay. We see that all the time, right, guys? It's just a little pulse, whatever. Okay. Watch the timestamp at the bottom. Right now it says 1940, whatever, on the 14th. Okay. As we get close to 20 and 21, you see what it starts doing? Okay, that right there is a very odd signature, number one. I'm going to stop it right there. You guys can see that, right? So I'm going to pause it, grab it again. Okay, now we get around 23. I'm going to back it up a little bit. Okay, there's right there. Okay, that's basically when it started. Okay, see there's very low pressure everywhere, and then all of a sudden, from the sun side, you start seeing stuff hit, and then we start reacting. The first thing I'm going to say is here, guys, this did come from the sun side. This is not from behind us. Alright? This is not pressure coming from behind. This is stuff that's coming from the front, which is normal. Okay? This is just a very intense solar wind, which is why I'm talking about it. And see, look at that. Alright? I mean, that's an impressive signature there. And I'm going to keep moving. Now, that right there. Now, what I want to show here is, if you look here and here. Now, if we got pressure coming from the sun direction this way, right? If you look at that, it almost looks like when it hit us, it caused our magnetics to kind of spiral a little bit. Okay, see how this one seems as though it's moving that direction, and this one seems as though it's moving that direction. Okay, I'm not sure if that's actually normal. It very well could be. I don't know. I'm just pointing it out. It's just an observation, guys. I just thought it was interesting that happened right there. Is it significant? I don't know. I do know that that's not really a normal thing. I've not seen that do that before. Now, I've talked about a spiral and stuff before, but not like that. It's very odd. So we keep going here, and I would say that this is probably getting close to where the highest parts of the wind hit us. If you look out here on the front, you see the big double bow signature there, right? And then even in the back, you're seeing intense pressure. When this in here fills in with that color, of any color, you know you're getting some pretty intense stuff. Because normally you just see like this right here, or it'll pivot this direction. You don't normally see anything kind of in there. Usually that's pretty low pressure area. Yeah, we do see it sometimes, but not a whole lot, okay? So we'll go ahead and toggle through here. You see what it's doing here, guys? I mean, it's really reacting pretty intense like, okay? And then then it falls off, okay? Goes back to pretty much normal, okay? That was basically, that's a small solar storm is basically what that is, okay? Now, right here, what I want to show you, this is the other model. One of the other models. grab this, bring it back. Okay, we're going to go to, like I said, to when this started. Now we see these little balls pop off sometimes. Okay, and if you watch out in front of the sun there, you'll see it go orange. Start going orange. In front of the earth, I mean, from the sun direction. Okay, you're going to see it. Okay, we're getting right around about the time. Now see, this is the first capture I actually seen when I sat down tonight. And we see this like this periodically. I mean, I've talked about it a lot here on my channel. You know, but what I find interesting, and there's probably an explanation for this, I just don't know it. You know, you got your echo out here, right? Not the echo, but you got your signature out there. Okay, we see that very, very often, okay? But this is, man, that's pretty defined shape, is what I'm saying. I ain't saying we have don't get me misinterpreted. I ain't saying we have something sitting here that looks like that, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I just think it's interesting that that's the shape that it chose to take inside of our shield. Okay? What puzzles me is, in order for this to have this shape right here, you would think you would have to have some pretty intense center pressure right there to cause this to bow this direction. But the way I'm looking at that is, you know, you got the sun and it's blowing this way, right? But it's blowing from the top and the bottom, you know. Okay? Now, maybe I just answered my question right there. I don't know. That does kind of similar, what I just drew there kind of simulates what that looks like. I don't know, guys. But in order for something like that to be inside of our shields like this, I don't know what that means, if anything. I just thought it was interesting. Now I'm going to keep moving here. Okay, now you're going to see it go really pretty wacky. Okay, now, you know, that's that right there. Okay, then what you're seeing, look at that. Okay, you see the intense orange to the right, sun direction? Okay, that's pretty. And something else that's a telltale that's saying that this is coming from the sun is, if you look at the arrows on this is directional, this model. And I've went over this quite a few times, guys. And again, I'll go over it again here. Oops, I must have. Anyway, all the arrows are moving that direction. Okay, so that just tells me that the pressure most definitely is coming from the sun side. Alright? It ain't like there's something sitting right here pushing this way, because then you would see the arrows push, or at least the arrows would at least be moving around right there, trying to go to the right, okay? Back towards the earth from the backside. That ain't what's happening here. I want to stress that. This is something that came from the sun direction. Now, again, I'm going to go ahead and go on through here. Okay? Now, see that? I mean, you're seeing what's interesting here is, even though the stuff's coming from the sun direction, that doesn't mean that wind is not having to go around objects that look like that. Okay? Because if you look at that, that does seem kind of out of place. Just saying. Okay? And if you look at it really in depth, it almost looks like it has some definition spherical right there. You know, it almost looks like it has a blue shadow type of issue. It's not this isn't a visible picture. This is a model, guys. Keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to keep moving, and again, okay, and it does it a few times. You see that? I mean, that's some pretty intense winds, guys. I mean, that right there was really what caused me to stop and look. Okay, here we go. And it doesn't just do it once. So that's also a pretty good tell that it's coming from that direction. And it's intense stuff. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this number is. Okay, I've been told before. I'm not sure how exactly, if that is 100% true. That's basically telling you what the solar wind actually is when it variates. If it goes high or low, it's actually pretty much relates directly to that. I don't think that's a solar wind like monitor or anything, but I think it's got some input there on what the solar wind, what we report as solar wind. So if that goes high and low and all that kind of thing, that's where you kind of look at, I think. So we're going to go there. Look at that. Wow, isn't that all kinds of odd? I mean, wow. What would make something have a bunch of pressure here, or more or less, or whatever, just difference in pressure, period, in such a haphazard way? And look at that. It's just odd. I've not seen that like that before. Not to that extent. Okay, and again, it just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it there. Okay, it does it again. Okay, then we're up to current. Okay, that's current right there. And I'll show you a current updated picture here in a minute. But this one here, this one I'm getting ready to show you, this model here, this one here is what really got people looking at this tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move it forward here. You see these are lines of connection. You know, you got the blue ones that connect us to the sun, the IMF. You have our polar lines, again, negative and positive. I went over that stuff a lot in some other videos, guys. You know, I don't have a complete understanding on all of that, and I'm working on that, which is why I went to the solar wind definition, so you guys would get the right information. But here we go. Okay, we're going to get a look at the timestamp. And as soon as that timestamp hit about 20, just like it did on all the other models, it started going off foobar, right? I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is just, wow. I mean, you don't really have a whole lot to say here, because, I mean, it's saying it all for me. You know what I'm saying, guys? I mean, look at this. And it goes all cranky again, and then it kind of goes back to somewhat normal. And it does it again. Look at that out. Ooh, I just seen that. Watch this. That was crazy right there. I'm going to show you what I mean by crazy here. Look off right there. Okay, I'm about right there. You see that out in front of the Earth? Look at those blue lines. I mean, that's intense. Okay, and you see this. I mean, look at that. I mean, anybody that's never even looked at this model would know that that's not normal. If you think that's normal, looks like a 5-year-old grabbed a crown and just went crazy. I mean, look at that. Yeah, and I know only a dad and a mom would even know what I'm talking about there. So, anyway, I mean, look at this. This is just, and it just happens over and over. Basically the same thing, but I have to stress here, guys, that this is coming from the direction of the sun. This isn't coming from behind. All right? I mean, that doesn't mean that there ain't stuff behind us, because I think that there is. I mean, look at, even the closed lines are showing vortices, like vortexes. I mean, it's just crazy. This is magnetics right here. Okay, it's our connection to the sun and other things in our, out in space, other things in our solar system. Okay, but anyway, I wanted to bring that to you guys. I mean, that was just crazy stuff there. I mean, wow. But yeah, like I said, I was going to report on that earlier, and I just didn't do it. I didn't feel good, and thank God, you know, like I said, Scott did a video on it, because, I mean, there you go. And I didn't even point it out to anybody, so he's seen it on his own and all that kind of good stuff, and I would point everybody. I'll leave a link to that video. Another guy, Scotty Mac. You guys need to go check out his channel. It's called Scotty Mac, SCOTTYMAC. Go check it out. He's got some interesting stuff over there, guys. He actually made a 3D model of. Remember a while back we were talking about like possible spaceships and stuff like that. He went and made off of the video and stuff that we were seeing some different shapes and things on some of the satellite imagery, and even on this model right here, it was showing some kind of crazy shapes, and we had pictures coming in here and there. People were thinking possibly they could be UFOs or what have you. He did a 3D model of that thing, and it was basically like a he called it an Anunnaki ship, but you know, I don't know exactly what that actually was or anything, but he 3D printed that, and it's very cool. You guys should go check it out. That he talks about other stuff on his channel also. He's got some good content. He's talking about some of the signs, like symbology, and it's relating directly to some of the shapes we're seeing in the sky. It's interesting, guys. Go check it out. Oh, and Steve over WSO, he did a video on moon phases. You guys have to go look at that. I mean, they actually came, it was an NBC article. You guys have to go look at that, because we talk about the moon flip and how we're seeing different eclipses and not really eclipses. We are seeing eclipses, but the moon should just fade. If it's not phasing like it did when we were kids or years ago. It should be waning or waxing, and pretty much a left to right, right to left type of situation, not an up and down. Okay, waning and waxing is what they call that. But now they've come out and said it's normal for it to look horizontal in certain phases. They even had pictures. You guys really need to go check that out, and then go research moon phases for yourself, because it's going to show you that it's not the same as it used to be. Anyway, I would point everybody over to that and go watch it over at Steve's channel on WSL on that, because that was it was impressive, that moon phase thing. That was pretty cool, So but I'm gonna come at you guys with some more info here. I will say one thing. What caused this solar wind? I don't think this was predicted, guys. There's a lot of models we can go look at. Again, this is the ISWA site. There's a lot of models here. All right, we can look at the KP, which is the indice we look for solar storms. Now, I guess I'm going to take you guys over here, and I'm going to show you what I think caused this. Okay, wasn't going to do this because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. This is the so if you take that and you compute the speed of that wind that hit us, right? It basically would have taken it 25 hours to get here. The sun's 93 million miles away. It was going at 3.7 million miles an hour. Okay, so if you compute that, that's roughly 25 hours. So you go back 25 hours, and that puts it right around like 20, I believe. Let's see here, like 1,800 hours, I think, right around the 1,800 hour mark on the 13th, if this came from the sun. And it most certainly did, I believe. We'll look at that. Okay, what I find interesting, okay, we've been seeing, this is the LASCO C2 from the Soho Observatory. Now, I don't know where this is actually sitting, if this is close to the Earth or not. I don't know where this is actually at. I think it's in Earth orbit, but I don't think I'm not really sure. Okay, I need to look at that. I haven't looked at that yet on this one yet, but and maybe I have, and I just can't remember. I'm not really thinking straight on that one right now. But anyway, if you look at this, like I said, I wasn't going to show you guys this, but I'm going to anyway. Oops. Let's yeah. Again, you guys can see I'm doing this video on my phone because my computer's in the other room, and my wife's been having trouble sleeping, so I didn't want to go in there and move around and grab my computer. So she's in there trying to sleep. Anyway, if you guys look at this right here, okay, you're seeing that positive. I think this is probably what we're seeing. Okay, because if you look at the timestamp as you roll through there, okay, about 18, you see it pop off there. And what I'm talking about is this right in here. All right, and why I think that's probably it, because if you go down and you read the description here, the blue and the red plus signs is what's showing where we're having discharges from the sun. Okay, and watch it, it'll pop off right here. It's not very big, but that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, man. I mean, normally when you get massive winds like that, there's probably either a coronal hole facing us or whatever. I don't know. I haven't really, I went through some of the tools, but I didn't see anything that told me, man, you guys are going to get hit with a solar wind like that. Okay. Now, another thing, the SETI site that I always take you guys to, it hasn't updated since the 8th. Okay, it's not even giving me thumbnails. And that to me is odd. But I want to show you guys something real quick, okay? I've left links for this site here, spaceweather.gmu, okay? Now this is a good site, and the reason why is, you see this right here? SETI beacon, last 14 days deduction, okay? We get to look at some stuff on SETI right here. We're going to look, this is the core 2, okay? Now, just because over at the SETI site that I take you guys to, doesn't mean that the SETI satellite is not updating information. Because this right here, because you got to check multiple things before you can just say, hey, SETI is down. Because it could be the website that you're viewing it at. That's my point, is what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over here, because you can see the 13th. This is stereo head core 2, okay, on the SETI satellite, SETI spacecraft. Now, obviously, you're seeing that doing crazy stuff there on the left. I've been trying to research that a little bit myself, trying to figure out why it's doing that. So it's doing it on multiple days. I need to go further back in history and see when that started. But I'm seeing a very similar signature, which I thought it was just basically, see that right there? This is what I'm talking about, okay? Now, if I take that right here on the left and show you guys the same thing that happened on the day before this, that looks almost like a carbon copy, like this is a camera flaw or something's happening with the camera itself. I don't know that that's what's going on, because I do see that when I compare two different images, they do change slightly. And I'll go into that in more detail in my next video. I'm not going to make this much longer. But I just wanted to show you guys that you can go look at the SETI satellites on other websites. Okay, they're just hubs of information. A lot of them are from colleges and things. Everybody's allowed to view that because it's supposed to be, it was funded by tax dollars. So we're supposed to be able to look at it. We're supposed to get true information on it. That's always questionable, okay, guys? I've always said that. So I don't think we're really going to see anything they don't let us see. And when we do see stuff, that it's a mistake on their part. So what I've been researching here a little bit is this right here. If you look real close on this one, you can see a big, huge orb right here. And it's there and it moves a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's actually, I'm going to do a video on that. But I just wanted to bring that out to you guys. Again, go over and check out Scott's video on this event that just happened. And then, go check out Scotty Mac and check out Steve's video on WSO over there on the moon phases. I mean, guys, it's good stuff, and all that stuff is good. Go check all those guys out. You really need to. I've been also, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mention this a little bit. I've been doing some email contact with Forbidden Knowledge News. I think we're going to be doing a show together on the 17th. I'm not sure if it's going to be a live show, if it's going to be recorded and then posted, what have you. I don't know for sure. We're still kind of hammering out the details. We haven't really touched base with each other here in about a week, but I think that the plan was for the 17th. So if that's still going to continue, I'm not really 100% sure on that, but I think it's going to. So just giving you guys heads up on that. I got stuff in the works there, guys, doing shows with other guys and doing some stuff there. Hopefully I can bring you guys some decent content and some, some stuff that I don't know nothing about. Try to teach you guys some stuff and learn some stuff on my own. So anyway, hope you guys have a great night, and I'll try to get at you guys here the next day or so and give you another video. Anyway, God bless. Yashua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.